I'm a fourth generation Monmouth County resident, and my father was politically active behind the scenes and always emphasized public service. And politics is not something that I had espoused too early on. I ran for a council seat in the borough of Red Bank and happened to win there, and went on, was elected to a second term. And then I decided, you know what? I like this, and I can be beneficial to people. I can be beneficial to residents. Always cognizant that first and foremost, I am a taxpayer. And rather than a politician, I'm a taxpayer. And if I don't want to pay a bill for something, I don't think other people would want to pay a bill for something. So I've been there as a very strong watchdog, both locally and on the county level. Things have been exacerbated by the economy, the superstorm, and many of our tax base is gone. You know, you look at boroughs of Union Beach, Canesburg, Seabright, down the coast, areas of Belmar, Manasquan, and to try to find those tax dollars and put them together. Another thing too is, in a bad economic time, so many people call for jobs, and government really isn't a place for jobs anymore because it's guided by civil service. It's not like the old days where you'd call a politician up and be able to be placed the next day in a job. It's extremely difficult. People do need qualifications, but I receive resumes constantly here. I think one of the things, too, that has been very, very draining on me is the hunger problem here in Monmouth County. We right now have 18,000 food stamp cases, and I've been working very closely with the Food Bank of Monmouth and Ocean County to make sure the needs are met of those folks who fall through the cracks of the federal program, of the federal food stamp program. And we have plenty of them, and they're no longer people that live in another town or across the town. They're now people that are on our own neighborhoods, and they're oftentimes and sometimes members of our own family. We need to see better national and international economic programs developed. We need to get people back to work. So many people are not just out of work, but so many people are underemployed. I have people that are working 2-3 jobs. I had one gentleman that called me about a month ago. He was working 4 jobs, and I asked him, "When do you sleep?" And he said, "Very little." And usually in his car between jobs for an hour or two. And that's frightening. He had 2 children to take care of and a spouse. Government cannot solve all problems, and that's not just my opinion, that's a fact. There isn't enough money out there for government to solve problems. And that's why, for instance, something like the Monmouth Ocean Food Bank, it's extremely important for people to give, those people that are capable of giving. I've had people that have called me up and they've said, "Freeholder, John, Mr. Curley, my husband and I had always given to the Monmouth Ocean Food Bank, and now we need it." And that's a sad state of affairs. So those personal and private donations are absolutely mandatory to get through to help people. Anybody can reach out to any charity that they know. A local food pantry is absolutely wonderful. Again, that Monmouth Ocean Food Bank is an area that really needs to be seeded, because so often we have plenty of food at the holidays. That's when people think of the giving spirit. But hunger is 12 months a year. So it's that giving to local food banks, which could be part of a church, could be part of a community organization, could be part of a fraternal organization. That if we can coordinate things, for instance, if we're working within an organization and we can say, "Hey, guys, gals, let's put something together. Let's get a donation process going within our local community, within our organization." Could be the Knights of Columbus. It could be a multitude of organizations. There are plenty of people that are in homes that are hungry, and obviously plenty of people who are out of their homes who are hungry. But it's not necessarily you have to be homeless to be hungry. Again, it's being underemployed. And, so many of the difficult problems that we have also, we have a number of programs coming forth from the state and the federal government. We have a SHRAP program that New Jersey has provided to Monmouth County and various other counties, particularly Monmouth after the superstorm. and that provides rental assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, so that people have to provide information. They have to reapply each month. And that's been running out of money. And there's still a big, big problem out there. I get 4 to 6 calls a day with regard to hunger or homelessness. We have the REM program, which has been, quite frankly, in my opinion, an absolute disaster, because people have had their homes assessed, and then the paperwork is all of a sudden lost. And then we find there's not enough money to cover the commitments that have been made. I am hoping and praying that the state government, along with the feds, will be able to work this through. I have seen lights of hope there, and we try to follow up with people that we've helped. And we've called them and find whether they're in a better situation or not. But, there have been those people that have consistently and persistently called that just have not been able to totally make ends meet. But again, Monmouth County is an extremely wealthy county. And the population of Monmouth County has been very generous across the board. And I certainly salute them and thank them for that. And, as I mentioned before, when we look at the economic downturn, and, you can go back 5 years plus when the economy just was not producing. The struggle to make ends meet, people working minimum wage jobs, and those minimum wages not being enough to put together a full income and a supportive income. We have a very large population, an influx of people who have come in from all over the world. And those people are struggling too as they try to make their way in America. But, the homeless population has been getting larger and larger in Monmouth County. Again, we have those pockets of areas, for instance, our urban areas of Asbury Park and Long Branch and Red Bank, where homelessness is a real debilitating situation. Homelessness, again, the opportunity, should they have family, to move in with those family members. But again, the economic situation on a fixed income creates a real strife for seniors. We have a wonderful office on senior affairs. It's tied in with our Veterans Affairs office and our office on the handicapped. And they provide many, many programs to help with health care, nutritional needs, transportation. Our SCAT program is a phenomenal program that we almost had to give up on. It was crime-riddled going back 5, 6, 7 years ago. And that's been cleaned up. Kathy Ladata, who's the director, is doing an absolutely magnificent job in making sure that our senior need is met. And that's predominantly getting, first and foremost, people to their doctor's appointments and getting people to renal dialysis, those people that suffer from nephrology or kidney disease. And we have set up a strategic territory where there's a fee charge to take a senior from one point to another. This program now has generated enough funding at a very, very low cost to the individual senior. We are now able to go out and buy our own buses. We're no longer dependent on the casino grant money coming in from the state of New Jersey, which incidentally has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk over time. And we no longer have to be dependent, as fully dependent anyway, on the state legislature or the governor in supplying those funds to us. We're really doing everything that we can to meet those needs. Unfortunately, at this juncture, we cannot meet the needs of an on-call, taking someone to a specific store or for a hair appointment or for a nail appointment or something of that stature. Our senior centers in Monmouth County, wherever they might be in the state of New Jersey or in America, is a strategic, omnipotently important aspect of the social life of senior citizens. It provides activities, it provides companionship, camaraderie, those things that are necessary where people feel like they're part of, rather than being in their home alone, in their apartment alone with just a television set, if in fact they're lucky enough. It provides meals to those people and provides health care services. They're omnipotently important, and I urge anyone who needs help finding a senior center in their respective community, they're certainly welcome to call my office or email my office, and we will find a place for them to go. We have many magnificent aspects of seniors. I can think of one in particular in Neptune Township. They do a wonderful job. The Borough of Red Bank, where I served on the Borough Council. I also want to emphasize the point of volunteerism. Volunteerism is the fabric of our society. Without it, we would not be able to exist. And we would be, walking around in a world where no one would reach out to touch anyone else. And I mean, oftentimes we see kids today, even adults, walking around texting constantly, not even looking to see whether a car is coming down the road. But to have those interactions with people is extremely important, especially if we get older, because so many people feel, oh, this ache or pain that I have, this must be unique to me. And when they are able to sit down and discuss those things and discuss their children and their families, that's so, so important. I enjoy being a freeholder very, very much. It provides me the opportunity to help people, and I enjoy that immensely. I think it's one of the greatest callings anyone could have. And I am not a real good politician from a standpoint that I do vote on my own volition in making my own decision. I am totally nonpartisan. I believe in helping people. I don't look up what their political party affiliation is. A county freeholder represents here in Monmouth County, it's a 5-member board. We're elected at large in a population of 660,000 residents. We have 53 municipalities. Everyone works very, very hard in their respective assigned areas. My area happens to be human services, social services. I also am liaison at Brookdale Community College, the Monmouth County Department of Health, the Monmouth County Fire Academy. I serve on the board of the Monmouth County Police Academy, as well as other sideline areas. So it keeps me very, very busy, particularly the human service area, with the difficulties that we see in the economy and reaching the needs, or at least trying to reach the needs of those people. We operate on a $481 million budget presently. That budget has been reduced as time's gone on, and the necessity of that is with less revenue coming into the coffers. But here in Monmouth County, we've been able to stretch that dollar tremendously well. And I feel when I came in 2010, I brought a 23-point program that I utilized along with my brother in a family automobile truck business. And that keyed in on outsourcing and job consolidation. And that has worked exceptionally well. We had outsourced our bridge tenders, which when I signed that agreement, saved us $600,000 immediately. And that doesn't count on long-term health benefits and pensions. We outsourced our medical examiner's office, again, over a period of time, multi-millions of dollars. We outsourced our youth detention center, which the taxpayers were paying $18,500 per month per detainee, statutorily mandated, meaning by law by the state of New Jersey. And we were able to reach a mutual agreement with the Middlesex County program. And now we're able to reduce that cost to the taxpayers of Monmouth County by cutting that $18,500 in half to approximately $19,400. So that is a tremendous, tremendous savings. And again, that's statutorily required. Our household hazardous waste program has been outsourced, and we're doing exceptionally well there. We've had fewer complaints. The private sector, in my opinion, for most things, does a better job. And they're certainly profit motivated, but they know to get their pay, they've got to provide and produce results. So all of these areas, results are being produced at a tremendous savings. The second and last Thursday of each month, the freeholders, unless there's a scheduled holiday or a change in the schedule, they meet right here in the Hall of Records. And there's a workshop meeting at 2 p.m. usually. again, depending on holiday schedule. Those meetings are open to the public. They can discuss anything in the afternoon meetings that's on the agenda. There's a workshop meeting at 2 o'clock. Then it moves on to an executive session meeting, which is a private meeting that deals with contracts, deals with personnel matters, deals with eminent domain matters, anything that should be privatized that cannot be brought forth without exposing, potentially in a negative way, a party or an individual. Then we move on to an evening meeting, which is at 7 p.m. And most of the time, they're held right here in the Hall of Records in our Freeholder meeting room. But during the summer months, we do go out to respective municipalities around the county. We try to spread ourselves around so people have greater access to what's going on. Our agenda, the main goal of our agenda is to keep the county government going. That's to keep the budget going, paying our bills, making sure that those requests from municipalities and individuals are met, and fulfilling the obligation to the taxpayer that all the services that they expect are provided. The director serves, in essence, as the leader of the board, and it's really more of a titular leader of the board. The director, which I served in 2012, handles the meetings. They actually or he or she runs the meetings. The director also sits and signs all the vouchers. And you could literally sign with the number of vouchers that come through in county government. I remember sitting at one period in 2012 for an hour and a half signing my name. And I'll tell you something, talking about cramping. It's amazing, but it's got to be moved through, signed and moved through as quickly as possible. I find myself doing something at least 7 days a week. And, that not only includes the governmental activities, but it includes those social activities and those political activities. We're in parades quite often. I go out to our municipalities, even in years that I'm not running for re-election. I hand my card out. I've been known to hand pens and fly swatters out because I feel the necessity to have an attachment with the people that have elected me. It does take a great deal of time. I find myself oftentimes in a busy week putting 60 hours, sometimes even more in to the job. And you really need to do that because you're dealing with 660,000 residents in 53 towns. And that's a remarkable demand. I am a full-time freeholder. I had a predecessor, Ted Narazanik, who I admire greatly. Ted was a full-time freeholder. He was here 24 years. I've only been here for the past 4, but I don't know whether I'll ever make 24, but I hope to keep going as long as I possibly can. And I'm afforded that opportunity through a family business where I can be here full time. I'm in this office. I return every phone call that I possibly can. We return every email. And oftentimes not only with an email return, but with a telephone call return, if we can find a number. And I urge anyone that sends an email into me to please have a telephone number because I'd like to speak to you directly. I'm a fourth-generation Monmouth County resident. There's so many wonderful memories. It's almost Mayberry-like when you look back on Monmouth County. It was a much smaller population going back to the 60s, probably about 250,000 people. Today we're at the 660,000 mark. So people have gotten the taste of Monmouth County. They've moved here because of all the amenities and the beaches being first and foremost. Our rivers also. You look at the Navesink River, the opportunities there with boating, the Shark River, also the Manasquan River area. Boating is just a plethora that so many people enjoy here in Monmouth County. And of course, that the spin-off of water skiing and the like, and sailing. We have many sailing clubs up and down the coast in the river estuaries. We try to provide as much access to the river. I know just recently, when I was on the Borough Council in Red Bank, we provided access to the river at the end of Maple Avenue. It's called Maple Cove, and I was very proud to be a pertinent part of that. And that allows people to go out and kayak or put small boats in the water, rowboats, canoes, whatever their pleasure is. I enjoy immensely traveling the county. almost in a political sense, meeting people, going in and out of shops, going in and out of art stores. Lynn and I enjoy that immensely. We enjoy going to the beach and relaxing and sitting on the beach late in the afternoon and having a glass of wine. I enjoy bicycling. We love to walk. Lynn does more gardening than I do, but I do a little bit of gardening here and there. And I just enjoy my neighbors and my friends. I love our restaurants, and we enjoy going to our restaurants. And it's fun to walk into a place, and it's like a Cheers, the television program. You walk in, and people go, "Hi, John. Hi, Lynn," and you're well accepted. And they're the friendly people of the Jersey Shore. I grew up in Shrewsbury Borough, little town. My father built a good part of that, and I presently live in Middletown Township in an adult community, which I enjoy immensely. I don't have to cut the grass or trim the bushes or put the grass seed out. The Bay Shore is a picture window for Monmouth County, looking out over the bay. And it's a beautiful area. It has its very, very high areas, its highlands. It has its very low areas. It has a magnificent population, and that includes seniors, middle-aged people, moms and dads, grandparents, and kids. It has tremendous school systems in the respective communities. It provides an opportunity for people to participate in water sports and activities. The Hudson Trail moves through Bay Shore. There are some of the finest, very finest restaurants in the state of New Jersey in Bay Shore. It is a magnificent recreational area, and it's a fun place to live. And Route 36, which runs right through Bay Shore, runs from the Garden State Parkway to Sandy Hook State Park, and the beach areas there. Plus, you have some beach areas along the bay, and they provide again an opportunity for people to participate and have a great deal of fun. Bay Shore has given us they are literally, in my opinion, the heart of Monmouth County. Because those people have such heart. They've gone through such hardship over the past few years. Economically, they've gone through a hardship with a storm, and they're rebuilding with a robustfulness like you've never seen before. And so many people are struggling still in those communities, but something you walk through, and it really gives you faith in humanity. I love Monmouth County and adore Monmouth County, and it's a place to be.